Okay, hold on 1 second. Okay, here we go. Okay. Okay, we are live right now. And, hey everyone, how are you guys doing? Let me 1 second here, wait. Oh. How's everyone doing? I hope everyone's having a great day today. June 25th will mark 75 years of the Korean War. That's crazy. Hey, Five Caps, how are you, dude? Hey, everyone. I'm sorry I started the stream kind of late, guys, today. I just been working on a lot of projects. Somebody's doing their mission over there. Just leave him alone. Don't bother with his mission. Let's go do a bounty here. And, guys, tomorrow night I'll do a Yakuza 0 stream. So I know we were supposed to do it on, what was it, Wednesday? But I was just so tired that day, I just didn't get around to it, so I'm sorry. But we'll do a Yakuza 0 stream tomorrow night. Like, it'll be like later in the afternoon, my time. Appreciate the Canon Lens stream. Thank you. And we'll do more of those Canon Lens streams, by the way. More of them we'll do in the future. You know, one thing I've always really wanted to do? I really wanted to get the Canon Lens 2 Platinum trophy on PS3. And I'm only missing like 2 trophies on that game. One of the trophies is I have to win like a few cops and robbers matches. And so I think that one day when we do a stream, I might be able to actually get that done. You can't hear the game? Okay, hang on. When is the retail video coming out? Near the end of June. It'll be my next channel update video, so it'll be like the 3rd week of June. But if you want a little bit of a sneak peek on the retail video that I got coming up, the retail video that I have coming up that's going to be like near the end of June, it will be like a top 10 tips video for like surviving retail, and I'll basically be talking about different situations where it won't really be me discussing like previous stories, because I pretty much covered all stories. But what the video will be doing instead is I will be covering situations that you encounter in retail, like bad situations, and I'll be explaining, basically giving advice on how I think you should deal with it, like, you know, what to do in those type of situations, basically. Just kind of more of like a guide in a way. I heard Costco treats employees well, but customers do not. That is true. Costco is a very friendly retail company. It's a good company. It gives its workers good benefits. It doesn't, you know, make them do multiple tasks at once, and doesn't and it pays them a little bit above minimum wage too. So Costco is generally a great company. I've only heard good things about them. Also, I will tell you this: the CEO of Costco is a pretty smart guy. Because I remember my mic is acting up. Wait, what's wrong with my mic? Is my mic fine, guys? But, my mic is echoing. Is it? Echoing my mic. Hold on. Oh, wait, 1 second here. Okay. Is that fixed now, guys? I'm sorry about that with the mic. Yeah, sorry, everyone. Okay. Now, is it fine now? Okay, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, there was an issue. OBS, I had the mic selected twice open. Sorry about that. So it's why it was broadcasting my voice twice. What I was saying about the Costco CEO. The Costco CEO is a smart guy, and the reason I say he's smart, he understands business well. He understands that if you keep good employees in, that it will actually help your company for a long time instead of constantly going through new employees. Because a lot of companies, what they try to do is they try to get rid of their older employees so they can hire somebody for cheaper. And that's like a really bad way of going about things. But there was one of the Costco executives wanted to actually raise the price on the food in the food court. So he wanted to make the food more expensive. And the CEO of Costco basically said, "You do that, and I'm going to fire you." That's all I'll say, is that the CEO of Costco understands business well. And here's the thing. Costco is losing money when they sell you food at the food court. But it actually has a purpose. The reason that it's a good idea to sell food at a loss at the Costco food court is because food is so cheap at Costco. It stayed the same since like the 1990s, despite inflation. You know, you can buy like, you know, a hot dog and like a drink, or like a pizza and a drink for like, I think like a little bit over $1. So it's like really cheap. The reason that they make their food so cheap and they even lose money on it is because it attracts customers to the store. Because think about it this way, that you can go to Costco, you know, do your shopping, and then when you're done with your shopping, you're exhausted, you're tired, you know, you can have something to eat. So somebody can think about it. It's like, you know, I gotta do groceries, but I'm also hungry. So, you know, I'll do my groceries and I'll get something to eat. So it's basically, so it'll attract more customers in the long run. That's what a lot of people don't understand, is that sometimes it's worth selling things at a loss if you actually, if you get more customers in. And at the same time, as they can probably write that off on their taxes that they sold the food off at a loss. I mean, that's what Sony did. The first few years when the PS3 came out, they sold it at a loss. They did. You passed my previous comment, but that's fine. No, I didn't. I was just telling the story. Can you also showcase the Fantavision Panda Express cult video and educate your viewers about it? I could do that in like a future video, just like maybe like reacting to you know, the cult video, like the really creepy thing with the retail place. But this video that I'll be talking about is I'll be talking about specifically like tips and stuff. Oh, Brandon, join the posse. It's open. What horse is that? This is the Black Arabian horse. Hang on, I gotta get my character some food here. Love the stream. Thank you, Ant. The Black Arabian is a great horse, but you can only buy it with gold. No, Zach, I'll do two that day. Triple and Brandon, stop killing each other, please. Brandon, can you rejoin the posse? Brandon, just rejoin the posse. Your posse slot is open. I know. Just stop right for now, Brandon, and just rejoin the posse. Triple, please stop killing Brandon too. Did you hear about how at a Subway all the employees quit because of bad treatment? Really? Do you have an article about this? Maybe I'll do a video on it. I haven't done a crazy current events video in some time, so I can maybe cover that one. Do you have an article about this, 5 Caps? What are the ways you're learning Spanish? I'm learning Spanish mostly talking to people online, and also been practicing a lot through Duolingo. Been a few chapters into that. Yeah, I could go back to making some of those crazy current event videos.
What shall we create? Oh, as you wish. But it will
What's the
make
name of it?
it
Five
better,
Caps.
huh?
And where did this happen with the subway?
Yes, this will work very nicely. We did a good deal on that bed. No?
Would it be impossible to be the first person ever to get a first physical copy of GTA 6 when it comes out? Game collectors will pay millions for that. Here's the thing is, if somebody actually gets a copy of GTA 6 before the game actually comes out, they're gonna get arrested. And not only are they gonna get arrested, they're probably gonna get sued too. That's what I'll say about it. Who's this here? I guess somebody joining their, entering there. But here's the thing. Some people will get GTA 6 early, but probably somebody who, like, gets access to it through a store or something like that. I remember that, like, there are people that sell, like, games for a couple $100 more online before, like, the games actually come out. They do stuff like that. Thank you, Mr. Jesus, for the super chat. Subway employees post door, sign on door, we all quit, they don't pay us enough. Let me actually look that one up here. I'll look this story up here. Oh, this happened recently, only less than 24 hours ago. Let's see. Subway employees post sign on door, we all quit, they don't pay us enough. Beaumont? How do you pronounce the name? Beaumont? If you want to, let's see here, employees, was this place a franchise, or was it part of Subway directly? Yeah, I can make a video on this. I can make a video, but probably for Sunday. If you want me to, 5 Caps, I can make a video about this, but I'll probably make it on Sunday, if that's okay with you. Because this tomorrow, I got a lot of projects to make, but Sunday I could do it, probably, if you want. Oh, thank you, Demon Hunter Vic. Thank you for sponsoring my channel. Thank you. Yo, isn't your birthday in June? Yeah, my birthday is next week, June 7th. So next Saturday, my birthday. 1 week from now is my birthday. React, Craig, and Polish channel and translate. Wait, what is that suppressor? I'm a bit confused. Can you explain to me what? Yeah, I'll make more crazy current events videos. I've seen people will really like when I make those videos. Oh, thank you, Tampus, for subscribing to the channel. Thank you, dude. Happy early birthday, professional. Thank you, dude. Thank you, man. Yeah, time does go by fast. But I don't think so. I think we're good in this session. Hey, Ricardo.
You know, we might need some help again.
Bow theft.
Hell, I do not have the time to go over.
I don't know what game we'll stream next week, but I'll think of something to stream. We'll stream something good next week.
But take this note.
True crime streets in New York are unsubbing. Well, I'm gonna do the true crime games this year, dude. But I could possibly do the true crime games, but I'll probably do them in fall, because this entire summer I have a whole lineup of games that I'm already gonna play this summer. You know, this summer we have Half-Life. We're gonna be doing Half-Life actually next month in June. Doing what is it? Brothers in Arms Road to Hill 30. Doing that one also. I never played that game. We're gonna be doing what was it? Mafia Definitive Edition, Mafia 2, and Mafia 3. Fallout 3 DLC, I might do, maybe I'll do that in, yeah, maybe I'll do the Fallout 3 DLC, when Fallout Season 2 comes out, but... I'm hoping those rumors about a Fallout 3 remaster are true. I know, I'm sorry about that, Shaw. I actually finished recording the Days Gone part, but it's actually processing in 4K, so it's gonna take a few hours, so it's gonna be up early tomorrow. But yeah, Days Gone will be up early tomorrow. I'm sorry about the delay in that. I apologize. Hey Raymond, how are you, dude? What is this guy doing? Okay, just keep going. Damn. Are you canceling the Yakuza stream? No, we're gonna do it on Saturday. Tomorrow. Crane Agri about Nightmare Fuel, I don't recommend. What's it like, a horror channel? Well, I'll talk about the next GTA update and when there's information about it. I don't want to speculate or anything like that, but the next GTA update, we're gonna have information on it very soon. Very soon. It's probably this month. Because of the fact that there's always been a GTA Online update either June or July, so very soon in the next update we're gonna get information. I have heard stories of customers trying to return old, dirty clothes, and the employees are forced to take the return because the customers threaten to call corporate. Yeah, that is very much true. What I will tell you about that stuff is I have seen customers return disgusting things to the store before. I will tell you that I saw a customer once return like a box of cookies, and maybe there was like 40 cookies in total in the box, and there was only like 3 cookies left inside the entire box. And I asked the customer what was wrong with the cookies, and the customer said they didn't taste good. You know, they were bad. So you ate like, 37 cookies before you decided they were bad, huh? And now you want a refund. But that's I've seen customers do stuff like that. The creepiest thing I've seen is there was a woman that was returning like a birth control pill, and she was returning it for her daughter. She said it was for her daughter, and when I looked at the packaging, I noticed there was something weird about it. I just couldn't figure out what it was, and then I realized, wait, there's this big plastic case around it. So there's this big case that's usually wrapped around it, but this is the first time I've seen it without the case. I looked inside, and the pill was not in there, and I showed it to her. There's nothing in here, and then she's like, oh, she used it. I didn't know. And then she left really quickly. That was it was really creepy. That was that. I have very low expectations for any new GTA update. I do too, yeah. I don't have much hope. At least we'll have something to play. Something at least to do on GTA in the summer. But I don't think it's gonna be big either. I agree with you, Sean. How many guys does Al Capone have? Probably over 100. More than that. Hey Eric, happy Friday. He killed 16 Czechoslovakians. Guy was interior decorators from Sopranos. How close are you to completing Days Gone? We are basically more than 80% done with the game. We're very close to the end. Brandon, are you rejoining the posse? What's going on, dude? You have a spot in the posse. You can just rejoin. Okay, will I buy a GTA 6 Collector's Edition? Yes. Would I rather live in Stalingrad during the German invasion in USSR or Manila during the Japanese occupation? Well, both of those are really bad, and both of the cities got really destroyed. Here's the thing: Manila, the occupation of Manila lasted for over 4 years. The German occupation of Stalingrad was from, August 1942 to February 1943, and by February they were pretty much wiped out. Thank you for all the content over the years. You rock. Thank you, Ricardo. Forgiveness only creates more evil in the world. What, you mean, like, if you give somebody another chance, they're gonna do something bad again? Is that what you mean, Suspect 13? Thank you for the super chat. Okay, I actually know the places where this guy can spawn. Sometimes he's up here. Oh, there. Found him already.
Hey, you can't be here. I mean it. Get the hell out of here. Come on, don't do this.
That was a really easy one.
Help! Help! You'll pay. Shit!
My personal viewpoint is I believe that people deserve second chances depending on what they did. I think that people can redeem themselves, but I guess it depends on what they did, because there are certain things they can't be forgiven for. But I guess it really depends on what they did.
If you untie me now, I won't come back to kill you.
There's a hack on GT Online where the hacker has access to Rockstar Games admin tool and has been setting players' RP and money to a lot. Please be careful. Thank you for telling me, Tom. Have I ever watched a Bronx Tale? Yes, I have. Bronx Tale was a great movie. It was actually one of my favorite movies. You know what I'll tell you is the thing about the Bronx Tale is that movie actually taught me one very important lesson about life. And my favorite line in that movie, in Bronx Tale, is when C's owed money for that there's that one guy who owes C money. Remember that? And he's like chasing him down the street, and then Sonny stops C and he tells him, like, what are you doing while you're chasing this guy? And he's like, the guy owes me $20 and he's been constantly avoiding me over and over again. And he says to him, or Sonny says to him, think about it this way. that guy's out of your, that guy's out of your life for $20. You never have to, talk to him. You never have to, interact with him. You never have to deal with him ever again. You know he's a bad person, so you don't have to ever have to, talk to him again. And basically, the advice in that situation is that if you encounter like a toxic person, somebody that takes advantage of you, it will only happen once if you allow it to only happen once. Once you encounter a toxic person and that person does something really stupid, really bad to you, you never have to deal with them again. Ignore them, never help them out again. Never, that's what I would say about it. And that was probably my favorite piece of advice he gave in that movie. And when you really think about it, it is kind of sound advice. If somebody borrows money from you and they don't pay you back and you're not getting your money back, never give them money again. Don't even deal with them. Just cut them out of your life. And you at least, maybe you lost the money, but you at least know that that person's a toxic person and not worth interacting with. It don't hurt to pull the trigger, but hurts to get out of bed in the morning every day. That one I remember. That one, C's father says that in the movie.
Ugly toad.
What's up with the community leaderboard? That I don't know. That is a new feature that is on YouTube. I don't really want to get into politics. LOL. IPUT. Yeah, how do I read your name there?
Job well and
Is it true clickbaiters are saying that Michael will be in GTA 6? Complete BS. He's enjoying working in the movies with LS. Yeah, and Michael is going to be a much older guy by the time GTA 6 takes place. GTA 6 takes place 13 years after. So, you think about that. And, Jimmy is going to be right around my age at the time of, GTA 6. Like, how old was Jimmy in how old was Jimmy in GTA 5? He was 18, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, 18 or 19? I'm trying to remember how old he was, but yeah, he would be, that means he would be like in his early 30s by that point, yeah. So he'll be in his early 30s. Oh, let me help Brandon now. Brandon has a moonshine and a trader to sell. Brandon, form your posse. I'll join it, and I'll help you sell your stuff. And Brandon, invite everybody who was in the posse before with us, please, just so they know we're in this new posse. It says Jimmy was 20 on the GTA Wiki. So yeah, so he's going to be 33 at the time. So he'll actually be older than me then. I'm 30. I'm going to turn 31 next week. Collector coin sale is over $1,000 right now. Really. And, let me see here. Collector coins. $9 of 15, okay. My birthday is one day after D-Day, but yeah.
Hey there, I'm your boss's friend.
Does it feel strange being in your 30s? A little bit. I guess it's just, I just feel a lot older. It's like my 20s are gone. I don't feel, you know, like I don't feel like an old man or anything like that, but it's yeah, my 20s are gone. I've been watching you since gun running. I love your work. Thank you, dude. Thank you, man. You've been with my channel since 2017 then. Thank you. You've been here. Yeah, you've been here for 8 years almost. Thank you, dude. Thank you for being with my channel for that long. Well, thank you, though, Zach. GTA San Andreas is an RP server? I didn't even know that. Oh, wait, I'm driving. Okay. I've been a fan since you started streaming GTA Online on Twitch. I don't think I've really ever used Twitch. I know it's the streaming platform. One of my favorite things about your channel is the commentary. Thank you, dude. Just gonna keep going here. Do you think welding is a good career? Oh yeah, it definitely can be. The thing is, what I'll say about this is that I don't know why society has gotten like this these days, but for some reason, society frowns on manual labor jobs. There's nothing wrong with being a plumber. There's nothing wrong with being a welder. You know, these are jobs that we need. These are essential jobs. And I'll tell you something, you know, somebody who's like a welder, I'm gonna have more respect for that person than somebody who's typically like a lawyer. So I'm not saying that lawyers are bad people, but I would say I would just have more respect for somebody who's like a welder because, you know, they work with their hands a lot of times. You know, they do very difficult jobs. But here's the thing is, if you go into these fields, like a welder, a plumber, you know, stuff like that, a carpenter, these are fields that were short. Like, do you know that in the next few years, America is going to be 10 million trade jobs short? So, like, we need 10 million people to fill those trade jobs, like, you know, welders, plumbers, electricians, all of that stuff. And people think it's just because you're working with your hands that it's like a bad job, that you're not gonna make money. But some of those jobs pay you $100,000, $200,000. You know, it really depends on the state, and it also depends on, you know, the company and, you know, a few other factors. But you know, don't have somebody tell you that, you know, you're gonna making minimum wage as a plumber. You know, typically it doesn't happen. So that's it just when people think of like a plumber or like a plumber, for example, they think of like somebody who, like, you know, is getting dirty under their sink and stuff like that. But, you know, it doesn't really matter if you're making a ton of money. It doesn't matter what you're doing if you're making good money. My buddy's a rig welder, and he makes $90,000 a year. That's pretty good. Patrick, I had a few customers spit in my face. Say, "Oh my God, I'm sorry that happened to you." Or Tonic, did you press charges? You can press. You know that's assault. What they did, right? You can press charges on that person. You call the police. Thank you for the super chat. I hope Jason Duval doesn't kill Michael DeSanta over a boat. That would be cringe. Well, thank you, Bunny, for the super chat. But Bunny, I'll actually tell you what happened. You want to know what actually happened? In GTA 6, I know what's gonna happen. Is Michael is gonna track down his boat. What Michael's gonna do is Michael's gonna track down his boat, and he's gonna end up killing Jason with a golf club. That's what's gonna happen. And then Lucia's gonna go after Michael to get revenge. That's gonna be the story in the in GTA 6. I have a lawyer friend and a welder friend. I'm thankful for both of them because at certain times in my life, God knows I needed them equally. Yeah, but the point that I'm getting at, though, Amateur, is that society thinks that these trade jobs are useless. And the thing is, though, is one thing that I've noticed is that I've noticed that when you have parents that are, born in America, for example, American-born parents are typically more pro when it comes to, like, trade jobs. Like, they'll generally support their kids going into the trades. But I've noticed for some reason, like, a lot of immigrant parents are, not as supportive of trade jobs. Like, they think that trade jobs are generally, like, a bad thing. And, like, my mom, for example, my mom was pushing me heavily to go to college when I was, when I was younger. If I told my mom that I want to, be a welder or, like, a plumber, my mom would have gotten really mad. Like, she would have gotten, like, really pissed. Like, my mom grew up in a very, poor, my mom grew up in a poor country. She didn't have a lot. And that's typically why immigrant parents a lot of times will push their kids to go to college, because they think that the only way for their kids to be, rich and successful in America is to actually get through college. But I can understand their perspective to a degree, but it's not, it's not entirely true. You can get, rich and successful without necessarily going to college. Okay, Mazen. But are you going to college, Pro? I graduated from college 6 years ago, and I have never pursued any kind of work through my college, ever. What is the worst thing a customer ever did when you were working retail? A customer threatened me and waited for me in the parking lot in the middle of the night. That's probably the worst thing a customer has done to me. They confronted me in the parking lot in the middle of the night. Brandon, what are we doing? Are we selling something else here? Hang on a second. Where's Brandon here? Oh, his camp. Let me actually go there. Just sell from where you are, Brandon. But before you actually sell it, Brandon, let me actually just craft some ammo at your camp, please, before you sell. Don't activate the sell yet. Just wait. I'll tell you when I'm ready, Brandon. Hold on. What happened after that night, Pro? Did I get assaulted by the customer? No, I didn't get assaulted by the customer. The customer just threatened me in the parking lot. But what happened is my supervisor, her big husband from Sweden, he actually ended up telling the guy to back off and go away. So like he got in the guy's face and he told me to get in my car and go. The lieutenant mentioned that McFadden dropped out of Dartmouth College, which is one of the Ivy League universities, and he got drafted, so he didn't even go to an academy. Well, he probably got his position because of his, parents. But you know, I've heard stories about that a lot of times you know, people that go to like those officer schools aren't really respected by like a lot of soldiers that like, you know, instead work their way up. Oh, happy birthday, Mario. Everybody wish Tricky Mario happy birthday. Happy birthday, Mario. Have you ever seen the movie The Town? Isn't The Town the movie where they pretend to be nuns while they're doing a bank robbery? Okay, this is almost done here. Okay, almost. Brandon, give me a moment. Almost done here. I just watched a Call of Duty World War II thinking about Metz. Is Metz a real-life person? Yes. Metz was a real-life person. So, here's the crazy thing. A lot of people don't know this. Do you guys know the Nazi camp commander that's the main antagonist in Call of Duty World War II? The guy who tortures Zussman in the camp, Metz. That guy was a real-life Nazi, so he was a real-life person. That wasn't just a guy that was made up for, you know, Call of Duty World War II. He was a real-life guy. But about Metz is Metz was a very sadistic officer. He was a complete scumbag. Metz actually executed an American soldier in a camp. He just took out his handgun and just shot him in the middle of the camp. And what actually happened is Metz actually told the body to just he left the body there, didn't let people bury him, and just let the body there to rot. Just to scare the other prisoners. So Metz was in charge of a concentration camp that was for American soldiers. And the American soldiers were basically forced to build V-1 rockets in like a series of mines. And what actually happened is, when you see in Call of Duty World War II, when the American, you know, soldiers, they liberate the camp, that did happen, kind of the way it did in the game. And what happened is that Metz actually ended up marching the American POWs out of the camp. But and the Americans ended up catching up to them, and a lot of the American soldiers actually died of starvation along as they were being marched along the trail. But what happens in the game is, in the game, you know, Daniels catches up to Metz, and he shoots Metz before he can kill Zussman. It didn't actually happen like that in real life. In real life, when the Americans actually started catching up to the prisoners that Metz was marching out of the camp, Metz actually got into a bicycle and he ran away. So he pedaled away on a bicycle and he escaped. And what ended up happening to Metz after World War II, he got arrested, but he was never put on trial for the war crimes, the murders that he committed, the atrocities he's done. He was never put on trial for that. And the U.S. was trying to use him as a witness to testify against other Nazis, but he didn't end up testifying against anyone. And a lot of American soldiers actually who were in that camp, who got tortured by him, wanted to testify against him, but the U.S. Command refused to allow that testimony. And so a lot of the soldiers, they felt betrayed, that they basically let this war criminal get away. So in real life, the story actually ended a lot differently, where it's in World War II, you shoot him at the end of the game, but in real life, he actually got away with it. He never, faced any kind of punishment or anything like that. It's unknown what happened to him afterwards. We don't even know what year he died. The only thing we know is he was never prosecuted for war crimes, and he survived the war. So that was, so he was a really, real big scumbag, really bad guy. You can sell right now, Brandon. Yeah, I'm good. How can you have so much gold while playing over the years? I know you said you've seen MASH TV series before, Pro. Well, the actress who played Hot Lips, Loretta Swit, actually passed away yesterday. Oh, that's sad. Thank you, Mario, for the super chat. MASH was the Korean War show. I know it was like a 60s Korean War show. But I used to watch that when I was a kid. When I was a kid, it was on TV all the time, and so I watched a few episodes of that, but I don't really know if I remember everything on there. Yeah. Was it true that British officers during the French and Indian War fought really highly of themselves and looked down on American officers and soldiers like George Washington? Yeah, that is true. Here's what people don't know. Americans were largely treated like second-class citizens by the British, and George Washington was under the command of General Braddock, and General Braddock was a bit of an idiot. A lot of people know him from Assassin's Creed 3. He was a real person, but that was that was George Washington's commanding officer in the French and Indian War. And Braddock would refuse to listen to George Washington. He wouldn't listen to George Washington's advice at all. One of the reasons that he didn't want to listen to George Washington was because George Washington was not from Britain. That was the reason. So, like, if you were not from Britain, they kind of looked at you, like, with disgust. They're like, oh, you know, you shouldn't be a leader. They shouldn't listen to you. So they would basically call you a colonist. And here's the thing. If you were an American that, like, lived in the 13 colonies, you know, when it was still under Britain, if you said, you know, I consider myself British, they would say to you, you're not British. They would say you're a colonist, and they said it in like a very disrespectful way. It's like they would say the colonists. You know, that's one of the reasons that you don't ever hear. You notice how, like, there's Italian American, you know, French American, like, you know, Russian American, German American, Spanish American. Like, you hear those terms, Polish American, but you never hear the term British American. The reason you never hear the term British American is because people stopped considering themselves British and started considering themselves Americans. So it was basically like, you know, people. It wasn't just about the taxation. That was like a huge part of it, the taxation about the representation. It was also the fact that, like, Americans were treated like second-class citizens in their own country. That was like a thing. And also, when General Braddock actually got shot, George Washington ended up taking over and saved a lot of his men. But I will say also that that a lot of American, you know, a lot of American officers who fought in the Revolutionary War actually were French and Indian War veterans. So, you know, George Washington was a French and Indian War veteran, for example. But imagine that you know, you fight in the French and Indian War, you fight for King George, you fight for, you know, for Britain, and then you get treated like absolute crap after the war, and you get told, you don't deserve representation in the government. So, you know, that's, you know, people will be furious. You know, it's kind of crazy when you think about it, that whole war could have been completely prevented. The whole war, if the British Parliament and King George had basically just given the colonists fair representation, that entire war could have been prevented. Washington was from Virginia, I believe. He was from Virginia. I'd have to look it up again, but. What about Hamilton? He was born British. Hamilton was actually born in the Caribbean. I forget the island that he was born on, but he was born in the Caribbean. The only most of the American forefathers were born in America. One of the American generals that was actually from Britain was General Gates. Gates, who was like Washington's main rival, he was from Britain. But a lot of the other, you know, leaders were from America itself. Can the Pilgrims, Puritans, be considered refugees? Yeah, they fled, political and religious persecution in Europe. So yeah, you could make that argument. Oh, thank you, Axel Lotto Gaming. Thank you, dude. Thank you, Joe, for sponsoring my channel. Thank you, Joe Perez. Yeah, George Washington did serve in the British Army. He was a captain. I hope you get better, April. Oh, I'm gonna have to turn here. How about Benedict Arnold? What's your opinion on him? I think Benedict Arnold is a scumbag. I'll say about this. Benedict Arnold is the biggest traitor in American history. Like, a lot of people think that the Rosenbergs are, like, the biggest traitors in American history, the people that gave, like, the Soviet Union the, you know, atomic secrets, but I would argue the biggest traitor in American history would be, the biggest traitor in American history would probably be, Benedict Arnold, because Benedict Arnold almost, screwed over all of America. We almost lost the Revolutionary War because of him. Now, the thing about Benedict Arnold, the one thing that I will give him credit for is Benedict Arnold deserves credit for the victory at Saratoga. He was a huge reason that we won the Battle of Saratoga, because General Gates had ordered, Arnold not to attack, and Arnold actually attacked. And when Arnold attacked, he actually broke through the British lines, and he made them retreat. But what happened, and Arnold ended up getting shot in the leg, and then Gates took credit for it and punished Arnold, and that's one of the reasons that Arnold got angry. But you have to also understand this, George Washington had actually considered Benedict Arnold a friend of his and had supported Benedict Arnold. So, like, when Benedict Arnold was getting accused of a lot of these bad things, Washington would constantly, stick out his neck and defend Arnold. And so, like, when Arnold would betray him, that was, like, something that really hurt Washington. It really hurt him until, his last days. You have to also remember that, Benedict Arnold was going to screw over Washington, who had always supported him and was a friend of his. And if George Washington had gotten captured at West Point, he would have got hanged. And Arnold was an opportunist. He was greedy. When Arnold was occupying, I think it was Philadelphia, he actually took over one of the biggest houses in Philadelphia and made it his headquarters, and he was actually stealing furniture from a lot of homes, so he was looting. So Arnold was a pretty corrupt guy. And Arnold had sold out, Washington for money. He was going to get millions of pounds in money. He was going to get a commission as a general in the British Army. He was a, massive scumbag. And Arnold was hated by everyone. The British hated him until his death, and the Americans hated him. So he was hated by basically everyone. I actually watched that movie, The Captain. I actually saw that movie like a year or two ago. I watched it. Captain is one of the most, darkest movies I've seen. That was a really dark movie. That movie was really disturbing. I remember that movie too. Wait, what, Nay? Do you know that William Pitt, the Prime Minister of Britain at the time, decided to draft colonists into 13 colonies to fight in the French and Indian War, and that angered a lot of colonists? Yeah. Hey, Long John. Oh, you missed the Kane and Lynch True stream. Well, we'll do more in the future. We'll do them also. Red Dead Plus. Oh, I wouldn't be surprised they would do something like that at this point too. What's the hardest part about being 30 years old? I would say admitting that your 20s are gone. Do you know about the first Thanksgiving and its brutality? Well, I will say, some of the pilgrims were, you know, scumbags that, you know, attacked the Native Americans, but some of them, were not bad and got along with the Native Americans. I guess it depends on the specific pilgrims that you're talking about. The natives did actually save a lot of the pilgrims, because when the pilgrims actually came to America, they had no idea how to farm. Like, they were dying of starvation. I'll see you, Menace. Take care, man. Let me form my posse here again. I don't know Business Plot of 1923. I don't know if I've heard of that one before. How did the U.S. capture Saddam Hussein? Well, Saddam Hussein was hiding in, like, a little, like, I wouldn't call it a bunker. It was more like a hole in the ground that he was hiding in. Thank you, Minion Dave, for the, thank you, Minion Dave, for the super chat. My MC business is getting raided, huh? I'm 34 and I retired. I detail cars in my grandpa's car. He told me save all my money so I can retire early. I just retired last year. That's good for you, Ant. I'm happy for you. What was deadlier, the Pacific Front or the Eastern Front? More people died on the Eastern Front. You know, Eastern Front was, Eastern Front was in the millions of deaths. But if we're talking, like, the entire, like, you know, the entire Asian theater of World War II, East Asian theater, that would have been millions of deaths too. But, like, most of the people that died in the Asian theater in World War II died in China. Like, in China, there was millions of deaths during World War II. What are your thoughts on America having prisons in other countries like Guantanamo Bay? The thing... What I'll say about that is that, you know, America would had, like, prisons, for example, like in Afghanistan, too. But, like, Guantanamo Bay is, like, something else. You know, Guantanamo Bay is, like... I think it personally should be closed. I don't think it should really exist. Because, like, Guantanamo Bay, you know, violates the 8th Amendment, which is, you know, cruel and unusual. It's against cruel and unusual punishment. Which, that's why, you know, that prison cannot be opened in America, because it violates the Constitution. Bro, move the people so Chaz can join. Oh, let me do that here. Hang on. Let me see who, No, I'm glad it worked out for you, Ant-Man. It says can't support another persistent member. Let me remove a few people here. Try joining now. Well, there was British that fought in the French and Indian War, also, Gunner. But yes, a huge chunk of the British army that fought in the French and Indian War were Americans. We'll do it after one more bounty, Sebi. what about U.S. military bases overseas, like Japan and South Korea? My view on that, I think we should only have military bases in other countries if other countries pay us for it. That's my perspective on it. I don't think that we should be paying other countries to have military bases there. I think if they want our military to be there, they should pay for it. I don't think that we should be paying other countries to have military bases in their lands. I think it should be the other way around. That's my view on it. What state is America based on? I think that New Austin is supposed to be New Mexico and Arizona. West Elizabeth is supposed to be Texas. Lemoyne is supposed to be Louisiana. Ambarino is supposed to be like Wyoming and Montana and Idaho. Heartland is supposed to be South Dakota and Nebraska. And what was it? Roanoke is supposed to be Virginia, I believe. West Elizabeth is Oklahoma. Well, I know it's supposed to be Texas, so I guess it could also be Oklahoma. In real life streams, I don't know if I would do stuff like that. Maybe. I kind of already answer all the questions I do while playing games, so I guess it makes it a little more interesting. Well, think about it this way. West Elizabeth borders also Mexico. Oklahoma doesn't border Mexico, so it has to be Texas, too. Do you think that Cuba has every right to be hostile to the U.S.? No. I will say this, that I don't think that the embargo that the U.S. has on Cuba is a good idea. But I will also say this, the Cuban government spreads a lot of propaganda. Like, you know, the thing about the embargo is it largely does not affect medicine and food. It affects a lot of other business-related stuff. But, you know, the Cuban government spreads a lot of propaganda in that regard. I think the embargo should be, you know, repealed, but what the Cuban government says about it isn't always true. And also, the embargo does not prevent Cuba from trading with any other country. The only country they can't trade with is America. They can trade with Canada, they can trade with Mexico, they can trade with any Central or South American country that they want. But you know, the U.S. isn't blockading their country, so, you know, they can send ships out. Yeah, I will say about Cuba, Cuba spreads a lot of propaganda about the U.S. and they blame all of their economic problems on what's just happened? Jetro? Who's that? Okay, Cuba blames all of their economic problems on the embargo, everything. So whenever Cuban citizens complain about any like shortages and stuff like that, the Cuban government says, oh, you know, that's the embargo. The reason there's shortages of this and that is embargo. There isn't shortages necessarily because the embargo. It's because the Cuban government controls everything. It's all state controlled. There's no private industry, you know, being allowed in Cuba. Personally, I just think it's so stupid how, you know, in my country we see like these rich college students who like say that like Cuba is this like, you know, socialist workers' paradise, and, you know, I tell them all the time, if you think Cuba is this big paradise, you know, leave your iPhone and go to Cuba. That's what I tell people all the time, but they never want to go. They always say how Cuba is this great, amazing place to live, but they never actually want to go live there. If you were in Saigon on business days, you would see people lining up in front of the U.S. consulate. Really?
Oh shit, not again.
I will,
You're gonna pay rotten for this.
Pat, the Cuban flag was spotted in one of the GTA 6 screenshots. Well, there's a very large Cuban population, Cuban American population that lives in Florida, so there's going to be Cuban flags in Vice City. Do I believe Rockstar will ever port to the GTA Stories games to modern consoles? I would love that, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I think the best we can hope for is possibly GTA 4, not that one. Was the Spanish Inquisition as bad as the Crusades? No. Crusades, I would say, would worse because they led to more deaths, but the Spanish Inquisition was pretty bad too. Do you know who actually, do you know who abolished the Spanish Inquisition, who ended it? Napoleon did. When France invaded Spain and took over Spain, they actually ended the Spanish Inquisition, and they stopped Spain from, doing that and burning people alive. And what happened when the, the British kicked, Napoleon out, the Spanish went back to actually doing the Inquisition again, and they didn't abolish it for another 20 years.
There's your piece of silver.
But what are the people doing in front of the U.S. consulate there in Saigon, Gunner? Is that asylum requests, or what are your thoughts on the changes made in Star Wars Special Edition? What changes have been made? This is the first time I'm hearing about this. Okay. One of my friends needs to complete a race for his trophy. I guess we'll go do that right now. Oh, oops, I hit someone. Let's see, okay, hang on a second. I'll invite this guy since he's so close by. What is his name? Oh, there we go. Okay, invited. Thank you, Chariot, for sponsoring the channel. Thank you, dude. Play GTA 6. I will exactly 1 year from now. Stream keeps pausing? Wait, what? Is my stream lagging, guys? Is my stream fine? It's fine for you. I don't know then. Guys, can you let Sebi win this race, please? Because Sebi just needs this first trophy. He needs a win. on a race. And those people, Gunner, were they people that supported the Vietnamese government, but now they support the U.S., or were they people that always supported the U.S.? Batman. I don't know. I got a long list of games I got to get to playing. Batman is one of them too. Well, that right there, that goes against the narrative. You know the thing is, I will tell you what really makes me cringe is when I see these comments on a lot of times are people saying that, oh, the majority of Vietnamese people like welcome the communists and the communists had like liberated Vietnam. Makes me cringe a lot when you see the amount of people that are leaving the country that want to come, for example, to live in America. That goes against the narrative right there. I don't know if I do, Blaze. Maybe my favorite troops would be the U.S. Airborne in World War II. Try refreshing the page, 5 caps. Yeah, I will, Josh. I just got a lot of projects to do. Oh, open race. Oh, this is one of the worst ones. The open races. Yeah, these. No, I'm just a little tired, but I'm not like falling asleep or anything like that. Yeah, I did see a teaser for the King of the Hill remake. It's a new TV show. It's not like a movie. It's a show, right? New episodes. Guys, let Sebi win this, please, because Sebi needs to get the trophy. He's been trying to get that. Oh, great. Oh, I'm really good as a tank commander in Hell Let Loose. Yeah. Ninjutsu, please let Sebi win first place on this one. Okay, there's Sebi. There he is. Well, Sebi, I guess I'm gonna stop collecting checkpoints now, but No, I've never been to Los Angeles. Yeah, maybe in October, Luis. Oh, he won the race. Oh. Well, I think that guy was a random. I don't think he, yeah. Many years, Angelo. Decades, probably. What GTA game was the most tedious to get 100%? Probably San Andreas. Yeah, I'd say San Andreas, all the collectibles. Metavalor was an underrated game, yeah. Well, I probably won't go to LA and do a real-life video for GTA 5. I'll probably do it for, I will probably do it for GTA 6, for, you know, Miami. I don't know if there is ninjutsu. I'll have to check. Who is my favorite NBA player? Probably have to be Shaq. Yeah, Shaquille O'Neal, probably, I would say. Lap race, okay. I saw a video of a Vietnamese woman who played communist propaganda music out loud during, you mean April 30th, and she got called out by other Vietnamese Americans there. Where did this happen? Gunner? I'd love Mega Man Legends to get a remake. that was fought between Britain and, like, I know Dutch settlers in southern Africa. I know that that was fought before World War I, Harry. I hope that Mind's Eye is a decent game. In California, I believe, and the Vietnamese Americans told her if she loves Ho Chi Minh so much, then she should go back to Vietnam. I don't understand this. Why would somebody come to America and, you know, and then play like Vietnamese communist music if they were escaping communism in Vietnam? That sounds to me like that's just ridiculous. You know, communists coming to America and then playing, you know, communist music. It's like, you know, you have the freedom to do that, sure, but I don't get that. That's... What's the name of this video, by the way, Gunner? I don't know, Andrew, but I'll try to get to it. I just don't know how I'll do the cosplay for that. What were the people on the Reddit saying, Gunner? Oh, come on. You've got to be kidding me. That's so stupid. Please let Sebi win this. I don't know how I... You can kill people in this mode, but you have to probably kill first place. Second lap, here we go. Verb, can you kill whoever's second so that Sebi can win this one? See the names here right now. Oh, great. Somebody just smashed into me, too. Yeah, trying to help get Sebi this trophy has been a nightmare because it's just constantly joining in randoms on these races. Okay, one. There we go. Okay, that's as Sebi got that win. Why does Sebi want to win this? He needs a trophy. The trophy to win like 5 races. Oh, it's not always easy to go through like a big gaming backlog, Ant-Man. Because there's a lot of projects that I gotta get to. I think he's done here, Ninjutsu. Yeah, in the future, 5 caps. I'm gonna have a retail video later this month giving like advice on what to do in different situations. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna quit out of here. Exit with posse. Are you gonna address the video you made in the past where you were cursing like a madman over The Walking Dead? If you ignore this comment, it'll show you hate criticism. No, I mean, I don't know if there's anything really to address. I was just, you know, I used to curse a lot on the channel, and, you know, I just don't anymore. I still curse sometimes, sure, but, you know, not as much as in the past. And, but I was just pissed about that ending, and that was it. No, here we go. Yeah, I'll make a retail video near the end of the month in June. Not really, Chase. Is it true that most Americans don't have passports because they think it's the greatest country on Earth and there's no reason to leave? No. A lot of Americans don't have passports, but it's not for the reason that you think. Here's the thing: is a lot of people think that a lot of Americans don't have passports because they think that their country is the best in the world. But here's what I'll say about it: there's actually 2 reasons that a lot of Americans don't have passports. The first reason is that it's expensive to travel. It is anywhere, and you have to also understand this. Americans get less vacation time than like Europeans, for example. A lot of people don't know that. If you like compare America and Europe, Europeans on average, especially Western Europeans especially get way more vacation time than Americans do. So Americans don't have as much free time. They're working much more. And the second thing is that in America is such a diverse country that whenever I've gone on vacation, I've gone on vacation a few times. You know where I've gone on vacation to? Las Vegas. That's where I've gone on vacation to. There is so many places in America to visit. Like, there's so many places that if you want to go to the mountains, you can go to the mountains. You want to go to the desert, you can go to the desert. If you want to go to a tropical place, you can go to Hawaii. There are so many places in your own country that you can go to that a lot of Americans don't really see a need to go to other countries. Not that they dislike other countries or something like that. They save a lot of money by taking vacations in their own country, and there's so many places in their own country to visit because America's such a huge country. When foreigners come to America, they're surprised on how, big it is and how big the distance you have to travel between, like, states, for example. In Vietnam, we often say about communist officials that hating on America is the job, getting American citizenship is the goal. What are your thoughts on that statement? Yeah. Well, yeah, it's like I said, it just goes against the narrative that that people think that the communists are all everybody supports the communists in Vietnam. But like, what? Let me ask you something, Gunner. As somebody, you lived in Vietnam yourself. Like, what do you think when you hear Westerners, rich Westerners, say that that the majority of Vietnamese people are happy with the communists in power? Like, what do you think about that when you hear foreigners say that about Vietnam? I've been trying to use this volcanic pistol more often. No, it's very disturbing because you act like a saint who never curses. I curse at times too, but if I don't need to curse, I'm not going to. Well, I think they've been to the north and they consumed a healthy dose of state-run media in Vietnam, since the Northerners are fiercely loyal to the Communist Party. My posse abandoned the job? Wait, what just happened? Yeah, I liked Vegas when I visited. What just happened? Yet you pretend to never so you can look good in front of viewers. I don't curse a lot, dude. You can even ask people in PlayStation parties that I'm in with a lot of times. I don't curse a lot. So I don't know what the issue here is, dude. There really won't be horror stories. Thank you, Gabriel, for subscribing. It'll more be me talking about, situations in retail and what to do in them. There's gonna be a birthday stream next week. Well, Gunner, I know that, I don't know if it's still the policy, but, like, for example, like, in America, if you were a member of a communist party, you were actually, denied any kind of, like, application into America. So, like, if the government found out about that, they would revoke any kind of, application that people had. And, like, I know a lot of Vietnamese people that were, like, found to be members of the Communist Party were, like, had their residency revoked. This happened, like, decades ago. I don't know if this is, like, if this is still the thing today. But, like, I know when my father came to the country, for example, my father came from a communist country, and they constantly asked him, like, so many times, like, you know, are you a communist? Have you been a member of the Communist Party? It was, like, so many times they asked him that. Look, Maul. Every single YouTuber has their style, okay? Every YouTuber has their style. They do everything differently. You know, I don't curse a lot. That's just, you know, people know me for that. You know, it's not that I never curse. I do curse in videos. But if you look at somebody like Angry Joe, for example, Angry Joe, you know, drops F-bombs all the time, and he's very popular. So every YouTuber has their own style, but me personally, I don't curse a lot. So I don't know what the problem is. I mean, do you want me dropping F-bombs? I don't understand what the problem is. Well, thank you, OK King. A lot of games I can try to get on disc, but sometimes I get them on, sometimes I get them digitally.
Hey, get yourself gone from here. Wanna leave you with the dog, son?
Wait, which Baris are you talking about? The younger or the older Baris in Sopranos? Wait, what do you mean, East? No, I'm not making fun of you, Maul. I'm just generally confused. Like, I don't understand what the problem is. Thank you, Michael, for sponsoring my channel. Well, I can't control what other people do, Maul, and guys, don't argue with Maul and don't harass him either. But I'm telling you the truth. Is I don't curse a lot in my free time. I don't either. You know, I did curse more in the past, but I try to avoid it. And also, when characters are cursing in games and I'm reading the text, I'm reading it. Like in Yakuza, I cursed when I was reading the text. So I don't know what the problem is. Cool playing Kane and Lynch yesterday. I was not Droge 11. Any more Kane and Lynch streams in the future? Yeah, we'll do more in the future. I still don't know when, but we'll do them in the future. Thank you, Alfred, for the super chat. So then why did you bring up another YouTuber to defend yourself? That's bad. No, I didn't bring up another YouTuber to defend myself. The only thing I said is that every YouTuber, you know, is different in how they, you know, do things. I don't curse a lot, and that's just my thing. Angry Joe, he curses a lot. I like his channel. I watch his channel. I don't hate on him and saying Angry Joe curses a lot, but that's, you know, his audience likes that. You know, I don't curse a lot, and my audience likes that. So, like, that's... I don't know what the problem here is. Do you ever have problems falling asleep? Oh, yeah, all the time. Yesterday, it took probably 2 hours for me to fall asleep. Sometimes I've been taking ZQuil to fall asleep, but the thing I take, when I take ZQuil sometimes, I have nightmares. Make a scammer video. I will, if I find another scammer. If I find another scammer in the future, yeah, I'll make a video. But I don't understand what BS you're talking about. I don't curse a lot myself. No, I'm not gonna ban people. I believe in freedom of speech. You know, he can say whatever he wants to say. I'm not gonna ban him for that. Shanghai SWAT team member, in Kane and Lynch 2, Cops vs. Robbers. I'm like a gold mine, these bastards. You gotta cover my back. Oh, thank you, Gunner. That was, yeah. That was, I killed so many people on that Kane and Lynch stream, though. It was fun, though. That addressed the old videos. There's nothing to address. It was a video that was recorded, like, you know, almost 9 years ago, and it was when I cursed less, I was younger, and I cursed more. Reform the posse. Okay, Bailey, let me do it. Who do I think is the most good character in The Sopranos? Maybe that therapist that told Carmela that she should leave to, Tony. I love how in Kane and Lynch 2 multiplayer, even the good guys are as bad as the bad guys. They wanted to recover the cash for themselves. Yeah, here's the thing. In Kane and Lynch 1, I don't think you can do this in Kane and Lynch 2, but in Kane and Lynch 1, it also had the heists, but they were in America. And when you would play as the American police in Kane and Lynch 1, what actually happened is you could actually give bribes to the cop players to let you go. So there was actually, you could actually give them a bribe and they would, so that they would let you go. Some people would take the bribe and still kill them. Other people would take the bribe and let you go. Oh, have a good vacation, JBK. I made an essay about talking about the Viet Cong, and I got an idea from your recent videos discussing the Vietnam War. Love your history video. It's super enjoyable. Thank you, no extra, no. Thank you, man, for that. The guns all sound really good in Kane and Lynch 2. Like, the gun sounds, the animations, they all just sound really good. I want to make more videos annoying scammers. I just haven't been able to find a scammer in some time, but when I find another one, I'll make a video on it. What the? Okay. Oh, that was a bounty target. Oh well. My mods have banned people who have criticized me in the past. You should remove them. Who got banned for what? I don't support banning people who criticize me. So like I have a very I have a very strict policy of free speech on my channel. How did I miss all of those? Yeah, beanbag, that's supposed to be non-lethal. It's supposed to stun the person. And Mole, just to let you know, there are several moderators in here, and you have not been banned. So, just letting you know on that. There's free speech here. What are your opinions on how Nintendo is treating its consumers as of recently? It's pretty bad. It was the $80 games, and then they had the copyright problem in the past. I remember when they used to copyright everybody. That was ridiculous when they did that. Maul, they're talking about videos of me annoying scammers. I made videos where I call scammers and I purposely troll them and annoy them. That's what they're talking about. What do I think is worse, Rockstar or EA? It's a good question. I don't know. They both did some pretty messed up things. I think maybe after what Rockstar did with like the modding, like going after the modding community, I think they might be worse. Well, it depends on who you're talking about, Gunner. I know, like, you know, for example, if you think of, like, French resistance, they were, like, free French. But, like, I don't think resistance fighters were, like, you know, caring about, you know, their colonies overseas. They were just caring about, you know, liberating their country, you know, from Nazi occupation. But, you know, you had people in the French government that, you know, wanted to colonize other places. And honestly, personally, I think the United Nations should have condemned France when they invaded Vietnam. It should have been, you know, condemned for that. Why did the US fail in Vietnam? Is it because terrain? Because the US never invaded North Vietnam. If the US would have invaded North Vietnam, that war would have been over. Would I work at Walmart for a month for $1,000? No. Because I will just, I could just make videos on my channel in the meantime. I could do other things, so it's like, no, I'm not.
Dead, huh? Easier, I guess, for an amateur such as yourself.
What happened to you? Where's all that blood from?
I'll have to look into that movie, Gunner. Let's see here. I'm gonna go there and probably play some poker. Oh yeah, the Mafia, the old country is only $50, which is, you know, that's fantastic. What do I know about Tahiti? I know Dutch. I heard Dutch mentioning it a lot in Red Dead Redemption 2. Tahiti is in the Pacific, is it not? It's a small island. Isn't it a British colony? Wait a second, this isn't my horse. Where's my horse?
Nothing.
Thank you, Minion Dave. Come on. There we go. Got him. The temple in the Yamashita Gold Mission. Is it a real temple? I'm pretty sure it is. That was in Burma. Yeah, one day I'll play the South Park games. Oh, Tahiti was a French colony, okay. Is Tahiti even a, is it a country today? Territory. Oh, what's it part of? It's owned by France even to this day, really. I'll always respect you for being kind to others. Thank you, dude. How long is the next day's gonna be? About an hour and 30 minutes. Oh, river fishing challenge. Huh. Let's do this. I'll actually see if I can win this here. Yeah, and the main character's brother, remember, he got captured at the end of Rising Sun. I'd like Jack to be the main character of Red Dead Redemption 3, yeah. It's always very cool to see how educated pros on stuff. Very informative. Thank you, Tyler. Wait for the river fishing challenge to start, okay. I remember I saw, I read about him before. He did some horrible things. What's that? Is that a collectible back there? What is that over? Gunner. But yeah, he was a war criminal in Indonesia. Anything big here at all? Where are even the big fish here? Oh, you can't hear me? What? Wait, what? You... Can you hear me, home? Okay, you can hear me. I'm having some bad luck here right now. General Shima should have been killed on an aircraft carrier ship anyway. The year is 1944, so maybe Medal of Honor Rising Sun somehow got a sequel. That must be only 1945. Yeah, I was still hurt by that as a kid that the game never got a sequel. Galveston Avenue. Which one is that in GTA 4? Wonder if these will get caught here. I want to wish you a happy early birthday in case you are not on next Saturday. Oh, I'll do a stream on Saturday, next Saturday. Thank you, Vapor. Hello, friends. How are you today? I understand what you said in Spanish. Hola, amigos. ¿Cómo están? Hoy. How are we today, right? Also, my birthday is on June 7th. I'm going to be 30 this year. Oh, that's crazy. You were born a year after me. I'm going to be 31 this year. I regret not taking a language in high school. I replaced it with welding. Well, I mean, don't regret that you learned welding. I mean, welding is a very useful skill. No, I've never fished in real life, Joe. Very unpopular in opinion, Nico Bellic is a hypocrite. He seeks a better life legitimately and morally, complains about capitalism, of mass murders, and works for corrupt criminals without thought. Don't come at me. No, Nico is a hypocrite. You are absolutely right, you know, Sweet Pumpkin. Remember that Darko says to Nico how much he charges to take a life. Like, you know, he says that to Nico. So Nico is a hypocrite in a way, you're right. This time things may be different. Yeah, it's a line in GTA 4. Man, my fishing today was horrible. I don't know, I guess I just never liked long hair, Manal. Yeah, I don't know who got 76 pounds there, but... finally got something, but... we still get something here. Ugh, 1 pound. Horrible. Have I ever drank Uncle Ira's tea? No. I have to still watch the Avatar, the Netflix Avatar real life, like the live action like series. Was that actually good? Trevor did do pretty bad things, yeah. I mean, what he did to Wade was really messed up. I don't know, I couldn't find anything today. Oh, right, this Tuesday, the Fallout 76 update is coming out. You're right on that, yeah.
You out of your mind?
I'd like to see Las Venturas and what that city looks like in the HD universe. Fallout, oh wait, what is it, Max? Say again? But Fallout 76 is a very friendly community, very friendly. I don't think Black Ops 2 Remastered is coming out. Oh, did you get the poll back, Nay? Oh yeah, the community in Fallout 76 is definitely more friendly than the GTA community. Yeah, I would agree with you on that. Very little toxic people in that game. Most people are very friendly and kind. Do you like McDonald's? Yeah. For the most part, yeah, I would say I do.
Look at
Excuse
that.
me?
I ain't seen you in a dog's age.
Oh, God.
You need to please look out.
Watch where you're walking.
They referenced what? With the scarab?
Can I, mister?
Oh, here we go. I might do a video on all the gangs that pissed Claude off, Josh. Might do something on that. I guess the reason Claude didn't have a voice actor, I guess, was to kind of save money at the time. No, there's gonna be no more updates for, I want to do a video on that one day, Manal. I don't know if there's enough material to make a video, but I do want to make it one day. Shotgun hell of GTA 3, yep. Oh yeah, the Donald Love final cutscene was a bit creepy. Well, the Yakuza he kind of did, but they never found out it was him who did it. Yeah, St. Mark's is a horrible place, yep, after you get rid of Salvatore. Check here. Is the Colombian cartel in Liberty City stores? Yes, they are. Yeah, the El Burro missions, you should do them early. And then trying to redo that race on St. Mark's, oh man, it's horrible. Should cartels be classified as terrorist groups? Yeah, I would say so. The horrible things they do, I think they should be. Damn, nothing here. Okay. Thank you, Sweet Pumpkin. I've noticed several sweets in my family circle. They piss me off and think one-dimensionally and never want to elevate in life. I was told I spoke too white and proper. I'm sorry, I sound Well, thank you, Sweet Pumpkin, for the super chat. There unfortunately are people out there like Sweet that they think that if you leave the hood, that it's like a bad thing, that you're like betraying where you grew up from. And I will say, this isn't just something that just happens in the hood. This happens in just, in a lot of places where there's poverty. Like, for example, in Poland, in my parents' country, there are villages that are very, like, poor. And what happens is, if you actually... Oh, did I actually leave? I actually left the game. I wasn't trying to leave. I was trying to fold. What I was trying to say is that in Poland, there are these really poor villages, right? And what happens is, if you leave the village, and you try to, go to the city to, like, make a better life for yourself, the people in the village will just basically, like, look at you like you're a traitor, like you abandoned the village, you betrayed them, you're not, you forgot about them, stuff like that. And meanwhile, these people in the village will do nothing to improve the village themselves. They'll do nothing to actually make the village better or make people's lives in the village better. All they'll do is complain, and then they'll basically treat anybody like crap who tries to leave the village. Similar, Sweet's attitude. They believe that, you grew up in the village, you die in the village. Similar to how some people in the hood believe. It's pretty much the exact same belief. It's that, you grow up in the hood, you die in the hood. That's their belief. It's a... I'd rather work with the boss from Saints Row 2 than Claude from GTA 3. What's wrong, April? Well, the U.S. lost the Battle of Hurtgen Forest, Loof, but they didn't take Hurtgen Forest until, I would say, January, 1945. And calling CJ uppity, though. Have I ever encountered the Mafia in real life? I've seen them before. I've never interacted with them. My neighborhood that I grew up in New York City, it was actually controlled by the Genovese family, which... The Genovese family, I think they still exist. I know they're, not as powerful as they used to be. But I've seen, like, there were stores that were fronts for the Mafia, and everybody in the neighborhood knew that they were controlled by the Mafia, and you would sometimes see these guys, like, hanging out outside, and what the really crazy thing is? It's just like in the movies, a lot of them actually wear track suits, so just like in the movies too. But nobody ever really talked to them. They didn't talk to you. They didn't harass you. They didn't jump you. But everybody knew, oh yeah, they're associated with the Mafia. Nobody knew if they were made men or if they were like associates that people didn't know. But they just knew they worked with the Mafia. That's the only thing. So I've seen some of them before, but I've never interacted with them or talked to any of them. Wait, who are you talking about? April, what's going on? Wait, what? I'm confused. Okay. Okay, we see. Got an ace here. A 7. king and a... damn, no ace. I'm folding. I don't think I'm gonna get lucky here. Yeah, I will play Metal Gear Solid 2 before Metal Gear Solid 3 comes out, yes. Wait, what did he do, April? I'm confused. What's going on in chat? Okay, I'll see you, Brendan. 7 and a 4, okay. Birdie, stop. Hang on, I don't even know what he's spamming in chat or what's going on. I don't know what that address is that you're spamming, but stop. Oh, he's timed out. If he, if he does something again, he's getting banned. Seven and a 4, okay. Damn, these cards suck. Folding here. He went in with the 4 and the... I mean, he had the 10. I guess that was his pair, but... Okay. No, what happened, Mario? 8 and a queen, okay. Any tips on working out? I'm beginning after a long break. Oh, there's a queen. Hang on. I will say this. One of my friends who works out a lot, he taught me to try to lift as much as I can, like my max weight. Don't overdo it, but, try my best. And then, like, after, like, a month or two of doing that same, weight, put on, like, an extra 5 pounds and see if you can do it. And then, like, do that for, like, another month or two and then put on an extra 5 pounds and you'll gain muscle over time. And, my friends taught me that trick and it works. Yeah, Brothers in Arms Road to Hill 30 will be a lot of fun. Progressive overload, is that the... Am I ripped? No. I just really hope he doesn't have a kink. Oh, well. Okay, run that. Don't overdo it though, Laskiff. Just, you know, see what you can lift, and then, like, do it for, like, a month or two, and then, like, over time, add 5 pounds to it. Yeah, Brendan, we'll do that. Yeah, I go to the gym. I try to go to the gym 3 times a week. Gilly got sent a ton of money by a modder via Rockstar admin tools a few days ago, but it got resolved right away. Oh. Well, good he didn't get banned. It would have been horrible if they blamed him for it. Okay. Let's see if I can bluff this. I'm gonna try bluffing this. My cards are terrible, but... Oh, he's gonna fold. That guy's gonna fold, yeah. I knew he would fold. Great. Oh, damn. Any advice on how to choose a gym? Well, you could actually get a lot of weight equipment even in your own house. Like, a lot of people put it in their basement. It'll save you some money over time, too. No problem, Brendan. I'm a little tired, but... You know what the worst people at the gym are? Literally the most annoying people at the gym? The people that, like, take out their iPhones while they're doing their workout, and they're like, this is for my vlog. Those are the most annoying people. I've seen that before. That is the most annoying stuff ever. No, I'm not ignoring comments. What's your question, follower? Moonshine business again didn't get shut down. I do a bit of everything. What happens is usually I try to do something like one day I will do cardio, another day I'll do swimming, another day I'll do weights. And that's, you know, one day swimming, one day weights, one day cardio. That's typically how I did things. Will I play Deus Ex Human Revolution? Yeah, I gotta play those games. And the old game, too. Is that the older game? I gotta play that one, too. 5 and 8. Wait, 2, 5. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. How do I have a 6 high straight? Wait, what? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I go to an MMA gym. It's very different, very disciplined. What happens if somebody takes out their phone and they're like, "This is for my vlog"? What if they do that at your gym? What happens then? We're gonna do Brothers in Arms Road to Hill 30, and we're gonna do that on yeah, for the D-Day anniversary. Medal of Honor, I still gotta play Medal of Honor Airborne. Thank you, Suspect 13, for the super chat. It was Prohibition. It was in the 1920s, Joe. Yeah, there was only one mission like that, Vapor, but it kind of sucked. Who do you think is more evil, Walter White or Tony Soprano? Walter White, because as bad as Tony was, he was never involved in the death of a child. The to be fair, that death was not really Walt's fault, but he still helped cover it up, which is horrible. No, I don't think I have Manal. Let's see who folds here. That guy who's $75, he's got to be very confident in his cards if he's going in. I notice he folds a lot when he's not confident, so he's got to be very confident in his cards. I'll watch it, Brandon. Okay, he folded now. I got him out, at least there. Okay, here we go. The censor dialogue from Vice City. Wait, what? Oh, God, he had a 10. Great work for your channel, Pro. Read my last comment. Thank you, Zuhair. Just watch your recent update video. I always believe that you are a man of integrity and don't screw with your viewers. Been sub since 2018 during the GTA DDoS days. You come a long way. Thank you, man. Thank you, Zuhair. Thank you, dude. I appreciate it. Thanks, man. Isn't in Deus Ex, isn't like a huge part of the game like a criticism of like government surveillance and like suspending civil liberties? Isn't that like a huge part of the game? That was my money, Tommy. My money. What happened to Liar's Dice? It probably would have been added if they had never abandoned this game. They should have added Liar's Dice to this game. Oh man, these cards suck. You mean the dialogue that was cut, Josh? Or, like, removed? Is that what you're talking about? Well, no, Manal, I acknowledge everyone. You don't, Birdie, you just shouldn't be doing stuff like that. I'm warning you. You know, you start crapping this in here again, you're gonna get banned. Why was the Friends GIGN in GTA Vice City? Because, Cortez stole their missile codes. That was my $2 professional, my money. Thank you, Zuhair. And thank you, Angelo. Somebody has a flush. I bet you one person here has a flush. One person has a flush. Have you seen those videos mocking you? Are you okay with that? Which videos? Are you talking about the videos that make fun of me saying Folding. Somebody has a flush here. He's probably got a flush. Oh. I'm surprised nobody had a flush. What videos, Manal? Also, I'll tell you, as for the videos mocking me, do I think Trevor would work with Walter? Trevor would work with anyone that's gonna make him money, but if you betray him, you're screwed. There's videos out there, clips of you edited saying random things, usually as jokes, nothing malicious. Well, here's what I'll say about that. The videos that like make fun of me, like, you know, for example, like the stuff, what people don't understand about that is I'm not doing it on purpose. It's a horrible habit. It's a horrible habit that I've had where I've just said a lot of times. I've done my absolute best to try to limit it. I don't do it as much as I did in the past. I still do it at times still, but I've tried my best to limit it. But it's just like automatic. It's just like I do it automatically, but without even thinking. But I will say this, that if I wanted to, I probably could strike those videos if I wanted to. I could probably strike them for like harassment or something like that and get them removed from YouTube. But I'm not gonna do that. And the reason I don't do that is because I believe in free speech. I'm a big free speech guy, a big guy on the First Amendment. I believe in free speech a lot. And so even if somebody's making fun of me, I'm not gonna strike it. My personal, view on that is that if they want, go ahead, they can make fun of me. They can make themselves look stupid, but no, thank you, Lost Cause. The thing is, I will tell you, I'll be honest with you guys, though, sometimes I wonder why these people are harassing me. Like, sometimes I wonder that, because I'm not a toxic person. I don't start drama with other people. I don't harass other YouTubers. I don't start crap with people. So sometimes I don't understand why people are doing this to me when I don't do anything bad. So that's just I sometimes I just don't get it personally. Do you think gambling is the worst of all addictions? No. There are way worse things to be addicted to than gambling. Is that the one on the PS2 version, Josh? Because I know, because I have a PS2 version of Vice City, and it's from when I was a kid, and in that one, it's the one where Umberto says those really offensive things about Haitian people. Is that what you're talking about? Because I know there was cut dialogue in certain versions of Vice City. I think the PS2 version that I have has that dialogue. People see a genuine person thriving and they get jealous and look to bring negativity. Keep being you. It's why you are a top streamer. Thank you, Long John. Do you do gambling in real life? No, not really. I've gone to Vegas before, and when I've gone to Vegas, I've gambled a little bit, but not overdoing it. I didn't even play for a lot of money. But both times I've gone to Vegas, I've made money, so I haven't really lost money in gambling. Who are you talking about, Zach? I don't gamble. I've just when I visit Vegas, I don't visit Vegas to gamble. I've only gambled twice before, and that's it. And the only games I play is 3-card poker, blackjack, and roulette. That's it. Nothing else. I stay away from slots. I personally think slots are stupid. You have like very little chance of winning. It's all random. Damn. Not even one pair. You've got to be kidding me. I have such good cards, and I don't even have one pair. This is terrible. This is just terrible right now. This sucks. What game did I have the most success in Vegas? Roulette. Roulette is the one I had the most success in. There's also this bot impersonator in pros comments saying to send telegrams. No, that's a scammer. That's a scam. Don't reply to it. I replied to it once, and I was like trying to get more information. It's a scam. It is a scam. What that, if you reply to that bot, that guy who like pretends to be me and tells you to message him on Telegram, what he will basically say to you is he'll say to you that you've won the professionals giveaway, and he'll say pay like a $200 shipping charge through like, you know, PayPal, and you get like a free PlayStation 5, you know, a MacBook and iPhone and all this other stuff. He says, you know, don't, it's a scam. By the way, you guys want to know something really creepy about casinos? If you go into a casino, a large casino at least, there's one thing that almost every single large casino has in common. Do you know what that is? No windows. A lot of people don't think about that. They don't think about that. But casinos have no windows. Almost all the large ones. The large ones, the big ones, the ones that'll have windows are like the small ones, like the small buildings, because, you know, you're right, it's a small building. But the large ones have no windows. The only place they have windows is the hotel. The hotel part of the casino is going to have windows. But whereas the actual casino, the game floor, there's no windows. Do you know why there's no windows? The reason there's no windows is because they don't want you to keep track of the time. Because, like, if you're playing there from, like, the afternoon and then you see it's dark, you're going to realize you've been in there for hours. They don't want you to keep track of time. That's why there's no clocks in the walls. That's why there's no windows. They want you in there playing, forever and just to keep playing and playing. That's all I'll say about it, is that you make sure you keep that in mind. Casinos will kick you out if you're winning. Yep, it's happened before. You know what the do they allow phones? Yeah, you can have phones. They didn't take my phone or anything. But I will say I'll say this. There was this woman that was in New York. I don't know what part of New York she was in, but there was a casino, and she went to the casino and she played on the slot machine, and the slot machine said that she won $1 million. And do you know what actually happened? The casino manager actually came outside and he said that it's a glitch in the system, it was a malfunction, and that the machine read it wrong. And he said, we'll give you a free steak dinner. And she sued the casino. I don't know how the case ended, but I would be suing really badly too. Because, like, literally, you know how stupid that is? That, oh, it's a glitch. Then I guess when I win a ton of money in, like, video blackjack or video roulette, it's also a glitch, right? Then, too? Or I lose a lot of money, it's also a glitch, I should say, then. So, like, literally is, whenever you lose, it's not a glitch, but when you win, it's a glitch. That's, I read into the case. Apparently, the slot machine's max pay was like 100,000 or something. How did the case end? What was your roulette strategy? Oh, me? What I did is, I forget the name of the strategy, what it's called. It's a real strategy. I forget the name of it. But what I did was, the roulette, I played video roulette, so I played the electronic one. And what basically happened was, there was the machine that I was playing on, I would just, minimum bet was $3, and I would just put $3 on red. And if I won, I would put $3 on red again. If I lost, if it landed on black, I would put $6 on red. And I would keep doubling my bet until I won. And then the second I would win, I would go back to the minimum bet, and I just kept doing that. And I did that for like an hour, and I made $80. So I got like an $80 profit. And then after I had $80, I was like, this is enough, and I just stopped doing it. But I did get close to losing it, because there was like one point, because I was playing with like $200. And there was like one point where it got up to like, it kept going black, black, black over and over. And it got to the point where it was like $60 or so I was betting on like one hand. And I ended up winning. And so that. But I was only going to play with that $200. If I lost that $200, I was going to stop. But I ended up getting like, $80 profit, and I left. And that was that. No, I'm not an expert on gambling. Don't listen to me for that. 6 and an 8. My God, my cards are so terrible. Can I not get... So the New York woman lost the case. Did she? She lost the case. There was more... Did she get any kind of payout? No, I've never done horse betting. No. The only thing I've done is I've done betting on boxing. And sports betting, I guess sports betting is a little bit different, because sports betting... I would say sports betting has a little bit skill involved. Because like if you know the fighters, I guess you know who they're going up against. You can win. What did I do? I bet what was it, $150 or something like that on Mike Tyson when he was fighting Jake Paul, and Mike Tyson lost. I can't believe Mike Tyson lost that fight. I thought that Mike Tyson was gonna kick the crap out of him, and Mike Tyson lost. I lost my money in that. So that was that. That was the last time I bet on boxing. That was like last year. Never thought that I'd graduate in less than a week. Senioritis is very real, gang. Enjoy your time left. Well, here's the thing is, though, Blinded Eagle, I kind of felt that way, too, when I finished high school. But then looking back on it, I was like, I'm so happy I'm done with high school. I'm done with this, finally. Yeah, Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, some people say the fight was rigged. I don't know. And I know Mike Tyson is a 60-year-old man. I know he is. Don't get me wrong. But I expected more from him. Like, I expected more of a fight. Like, I know he's old, don't get me wrong, but I honestly expected more of a fight. But I will tell you, you know what the best fight was that night? The best fight was that when that Irish girl was fighting the Puerto Rican girl. Like, that was, like, the best boxing fight. Like, that was a very intense fight. That fight was really good. But honestly speaking, I forget the name of the fighters, but I think that the Puerto Rican girl won that fight. I don't think they should have given it to the Irish girl. I don't think it made sense. I think the Puerto Rican girl won that fight. But it was like they said, oh, the Irish girl won. A lot of people got pissed. A lot of people agreed with me, and they said that I was reading comments of what people were saying. People were saying that the Puerto Rican girl won the fight too. But, like, that was, yeah, that was, people were, yeah, and the thing is, like, I've heard people say that, like, female boxing is, like, a joke, but I don't see any joke about it. Like, the female boxing was, like, way better than the male boxing that day. So, like, it was, like, they were actually, like, bleeding. Like, they really hurt each other. So it was, like, I don't know, people are saying that, like, make fun of female boxing. It was... Does anyone know the fight I'm talking about? It was last November. It was like an Irish girl that was fighting a Puerto Rican girl. It was right before the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight. And the Irish girl ended up winning the fight. I forget the name of the fighters, but I watched that on TV. I watched that one that happened. Taylor versus Serrano. That was what it was. Yeah, then... Yes, people, yeah, and she's been accused of that before. The Irish girl I know was accused of headbutting before. Oh, I'm gonna win this. Finally, I won. Yes, there we go. Look at that. There we go, and I got all my money back. And I'm leaving this table now. I won. I'm done. What was Fat Dom expecting to happen when he came to Silvio and Carlo to talk about Vito? He was expecting to mock them and get away with it. That's pretty much what was happening. He was basically saying, you know, we killed a made guy of yours and you can't do anything about it. That's what he was basically there. He was antagonizing them. Oh, no, I don't play any of the football games. I don't play the Madden games. Nice gun, thank you. You see the comments, you just ignore them? I'm not ignoring any comment. There's a lot of people that are posting. I guess he didn't know where King Courtney was, Vertical. Yeah, Volcanic Pistol is a very powerful pistol in this game. It's very powerful indeed.
Now what you got your gun unshucked for?
Take a few minutes to stop and read the comments. I read as many comments as I can, dude. Have I ever played WWII games? Yeah. I played a few of them on the PS2 when I was a kid. There's mods on PC where people add modern weapons for Red Dead Redemption 2. I don't know. I guess we'll see what the next Sniper Elite game will be. Okay, all I'm asking you is to stop the game and acknowledge your viewers who pay your rent. I read as many of my comments as I can, and I'm always grateful to my viewers. I don't understand what you mean, Manal. And when I make my channel update videos, everybody who super chatted me in the I always show them on the screen, like in the video. And everyone who's given me memberships too. Like, have you watched my channel update videos? You know, everybody who super chats appears on the videos. They revolve around human augmentation against natural human movements. It sets up the storylines for them. Oh, okay. Your little sister's birthday, Sydney. Your little sister's birthday's tomorrow, and her name is Sydney. Can you shout her out? Happy birthday to your little sister, Sydney. Otto. I'm not gonna ban him, no. No problem, Otto. I'm not mad at you, Manal. I was just confused because I read my comments a lot, so I don't know what you meant when you said that, but. Marvel or DC? I think I like DC more because it's a little more dark. The New York woman lost. Oh man, that's the max payout was 6,500. That's. And these casinos are such scumbags, you know, they always have, you know, their big team of lawyers so they can get away with anything. I've not really ever done cryptocurrency. I've only done stocks before in the past, but I've taken a break from doing stocks. Thank you, Midnight, for subscribing to my channel. Do I think Aldo inspired Vito? Maybe. I'm sure the people who played Mafia 2 played the old Godfather games. I'm sure they have. I heard about the Vince McMahon case, and I couldn't believe it at first because I watched Vince McMahon when I was a kid, and it always seemed to me like he was a good guy, so I was just so shocked that he did something like that. It's horrible. But I was like, I remember I grew up watching him on TV a lot. You know, I used to watch Monday Night Raw, and so I was just generally surprised that he was involved in something like that. How much money do I have? $365,000 and 921 gold. Favorite wrestler? Well, my favorite wrestler when I was a kid used to be John Cena, but then, you know, the whole China thing happened where he apologized to the Communist Party of China and he stopped being my favorite wrestler. Vince was involved in some pretty bad sexual stuff. Are there random events Reddit online? Yeah, somewhat. Play for Red Dead Redemption 2 when? Maybe in October. I gotta get through Half-Life, Brothers in Arms, Road to Hill 30, and finish up Days Gone and the other game. Well, Manal, I can't control what other people are doing, too. I'm not making fun of you. No, I've never been to a WWE event. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of, and I have to get through all the Mafia games before Mafia: The Old Country come out. So I have to get through all those games before that comes out. Isn't Roadhouse the movie with Patrick Swayze where he's like in a bar and he's just like fighting people constantly? Isn't that movie? There's a new Karate Kid movie coming out? I didn't even know that. Met John Cena at the Sunrise Mall numerous times. Seemed like a great guy. Always stayed longer than he signed up for, then hung out with the staff. It's a shame he got pressured due to the public apology. The thing about John Cena is John Cena has done a lot for kids. He's donated a lot to charity, and I'm not disputing that. He has done a lot for kids. But it was like that apology to China, like that thing about, like, you know, apologizing to the Chinese government, that was like, you know, I would never do something like that. I don't care how much money is involved. My principles are too important to me. I would never, you know, apologize to the Chinese government for money. You know, I would never do something like that. So, like, you know, my principles are just too much. I respect human rights too much to, like, you know, to do something like that. So I could not, you know, I lost so much respect for John Cena. I literally lost so much respect for him when he did that. What about Undertaker? I don't know that much about him. I think, despite being like a scary guy, he's actually a pretty nice guy in real life. I do know that, but but I don't know much about him. I know his rival was like Kane. It was Kane and Undertaker. They were like the two scary guys always. But like Kane is generally a really nice guy too, even though he played a really scary guy. What did he apologize for? He apologized for calling Taiwan a country. He called Taiwan a country, and then he apologized to the Chinese government about it. Kane is mayor now. He's a mayor, really? Where exactly? Most annoying type of freaker in Days Gone? The freaker that you still haven't seen. There's gonna be a freaker that you've seen near the end of the game. He's even worse than the Breaker. Is Taiwan not a country? I think Taiwan is a country. China doesn't, though. Well, yeah, you know, John Cena apologizing to the Chinese government is definitely, like, less worse than some of the scandals some of the other celebrities have been involved in. Like, I mean, he didn't technically hurt anybody, but he did damage his reputation by, you know, doing that. Yeah, so I lost so much respect for him when he did that. But you want to know something? John Cena, he can't see Taiwan. That's the thing about it. Why you name your channel The Professional? You inspired maybe do your professional career before? I named it kind of like a professional criminal, like kind of like in games and stuff like that. It was kind of a reference to that. That's more of what it was reference to. Bro, who you're talking about? I can't see him. Yeah. For fun fact, Pro, you're the only guy I know that doesn't like John Cena. Oh, there's other people who don't like him, too. I used to like him a lot when I was a kid, but it's like that's the apologizing to China that made me so mad. My favorite villains in the Saints Row series? Dane Vogel was probably my favorite villain in Saints Row 2, and the reason I like Dane Vogel as a villain is because this ruthless, like, American businessman, like, this, you know, this corporate CEO that's, like, really ruthless. Like, I like Dane Vogel as a villain in Saints Row 1. In Saints Row 2. In Saints Row 1, my favorite villain, would have to be, I would say probably Tanya was my favorite villain in Saints Row 1, because it's how manipulative she was. You know, she took over the whole Vice Kings. Attitude Era fan. I cheered for Orton before I cheered for Cena. You know, I think, you know what I watch? When I was a kid, I used to watch Raw a lot. I watched it Monday nights. I watched it a lot. You know what my favorite moment was? My favorite moment on Raw? I'll never forget it. My favorite moment of all time was when Triple H was supposed to appear for, like, a fight, and he didn't appear in the fight, and then Randy Orton was, like, trash-talking him, and then Triple H appeared in his house and attacked him. That was, like, I think that was my favorite WWE moment. I think that was my favorite one. I did see that live when it happened when I was a kid. I watched that live. I never forgot that one. It was, that was, and then they both get arrested by the police after. Oh, man. Yeah, that was a really good one. I remember that one. That was a really good one. They did. Richard Hughes from Saints Row 1. You mean Alderman Hughes? Scumbag, yeah, he was a very, very bad guy. Didn't Logan Paul and his brother scam kids? I don't know. That I don't know. I just know that they've been involved in a really stupid thing. Like, Jake Paul, he was involved in looting. Like, he looted a store once. And what was it? Logan Paul, he did that really horrible thing in Japan. I don't really want to talk about it, but he did something really, really bad in Japan. But if you want to look it up, go look it up. You know what, Logan Paul Japan controversy. But it was just, anybody knows what I'm talking about. It's just, I don't want to talk about it because it's really bad. But he did something really nasty in Japan. What, Manal? Who? And EA, you had one job. Give us a high school back in college football and we good. And somehow you still screwed up. All you had to do was build upon NCAA 14. I don't know those games too well though, but thoughts on streamers like Samai harassing Asians? Yeah, and he's facing numerous years in prison right now. Johnny Somali, I think that's who you're talking about. He's gonna have a lot of problems now. There are a Snake Oil in Red Dead Redemption 2. You know, I think there is, yeah. Well, there's gonna be definitely Cuban Americans in GTA 6. There definitely will be. Well, thank you, Zuhair. The Kardashians, I honestly don't care about that stuff. Like, I read that all they did, the media would constantly talk about is them, but I don't really care about that stuff. What do you think about the Haitians protesting against Vice City? Do you disagree with them? Well, I understand to a point why people are pissed about that, but I will also say this, that a lot of the characters that are racist in the GTA games you're not supposed to like them. You know, they're designed for you to dislike them. You know, that's Umberto wasn't really designed for you to like him necessarily, I would say. So it was that Rockstar didn't name them the Cubans or the Haitians in GTA 6, and the Haitians don't even appear in GTA 6 as a gang. The Cholos control their neighborhood, but maybe one day. But I want to play Guerrilla's Killzone games one day too. My favorite wrestling finishing move, probably 619 from Rey Mysterio. But, I guess we'll be going here. If Dimitri was not an evil character not betraying Nico, how do you think GTA 4 would have played out? It's a good question. Nico probably would have been somebody high up in that, Russian mob, but... yeah, I'm gonna wrap up the stream here. I haven't eaten dinner yet, so I'm really hungry. So I guess I'm gonna have some food here late at night, but I gotta start eating a little earlier. But I'll still answer a few questions before I go here. Wait, it was... Okay. Great stream as always. Have a wonderful night and enjoy your weekend, Pro. Thank you, Long John. Yeah, I eat kind of late. I've been eating. My schedule's all messed up. My sleeping is all messed up. Everything's all messed up. Remember the piñata the Cholos got? I remember Mario. Yes, I remember that. Enjoy your food then later, Pro. Thank you, Drifter Kids. Thanks, dude. What time is it? 1:32 in the morning. What is the episode of The Sopranos where Tony visits Janice's house and gets disgusting because he finds Ralph's shoe? Oh, I actually don't remember that one. But you know what was really creepy when Tony was asking all these personal questions about Ralph. It was like that was just a weird episode. I know what you're talking about. The funny thing is, I actually have a Big Mac in my fridge with some McNuggets I haven't eaten that I ordered yesterday, a bunch of food. So I'm probably gonna heat that up and 2 number 9s, number 9 large, 6 of extra dip and a big soda. Thank you, Zuhaira. Thanks, dude. I want to play the Doom games one day, but I'll have to get around to those noise. I know the games though that they are in yeah, they're on Mars. I know that, and you're fighting demons. I know that. Do I own an air fryer? Yes. Bro, don't you think McDonald's is overpriced? I like the food, but they need to understand they're not high quality food. Yeah, but I had a 60% coupon for Uber Eats, so I used it the other day. I am considering doing a video on it, Josh. Really? And what food is that? What food is that, Blinded Eagle? I didn't know that, Lu Yang. Oh, and the chicken nuggets. Oh, I didn't know that, Blind Eagle. Well, thank you for telling me. What is your opinion on those food delivery service? In my opinion, they are shady amid cash grabs. I will tell you this though, guys. I said this story before, but I had it happen to me once where it was over a year ago, year and a half maybe. I ordered some food to my apartment. It was from a local burger restaurant in town. And the restaurant was about 10-15 minutes from my, apartment. And I didn't just order a burger. I ordered a burger, chicken nuggets, fries, drink. I ordered multiple burgers also. I think it was a burger and a chicken sandwich I ordered. So it wasn't like a small order. And I gave the driver, the Uber Eats person, like a 20% tip. And I think it was like more than $10 on that tip. More than that. Somewhere around there. But what ended up happening is I gave like, I usually give like 15 to 20%. And if it's like raining or snowing, I'll do 25, 30%. But I gave the person like a 20% tip, and the person got like really mad, and they didn't deliver my food. They said that wasn't enough, and they took my food, and I never got my food, and I had to literally contact Uber Eats for a refund. It was like really frustrating, like that. And the thing is, when I was like, when I was doing that, I felt like I did something wrong. Like, I honestly felt like I did something wrong. Like, I felt maybe I was like, maybe 20% was too little. That's what I was thinking. But then like, I talked to a lot of people, and you guys told me that I did nothing wrong. That like, it was like the person was like, overreacting, and they were getting too angry. But it was like that. Like, I never had it happen to me like that. I've never had service like that before, where somebody did something like that to me. They took my food and stuff, and I don't even know if she was so angry about like the amount. I don't know why she even took the order in the first place, but that was that. But the thing is, though, is thanks not giving up on leaving Red Dead Online. Well, thank you, Big Gizzles. Thank you, dude. I'll never give up on Red Dead Online. And you want to know something? Red Dead Online is coming to its 4th year now of being abandoned, July 2021. I will actually do a video in July. So in July, for the 4-year anniversary of the game being abandoned, I'll do a video rating all the updates, probably from worst to best, and talking about that. But I will also say, DoorDash tries arguing with me every time McDonald's forgets something. Oh. I still say you should have reported that guy. Who, the person who didn't deliver my food? Well, I did. I complained to Uber Eats, but I don't know if they ended up getting taken off of that. But do you know one thing I didn't understand, guys? There is a Domino's, like a Domino's pizzeria, that is 5 minutes from my apartment. Like, I'm not even joking, 5 minutes. I could probably walk there, but if I walked there, it probably would take me maybe 15, 20 minutes. But actually, like, driving there, it's gonna be less than 5 minutes. And what I do a lot of times, is that I place a carryout order, and just to pick it up. So I drive over there myself, and I pick up the order. And one time when I went to go pick up my Domino's order, the little touchpad thing at the counter said, "Do I want a tip?" And I hit no, and I just took my pizza. And like, do you think that I should tip if I'm picking up like an order that's like 5 minutes from my house? Because I didn't think I should. Like, I don't know. Like, it's just like, it's so close to my house, and I'm actually picking it up. It's not like somebody's driving over to my house to deliver it. Like, I picked up the pizza myself. So I always tip. When people deliver to me, I always tip. I always do. I'm very nice, like 20-25% of my tips. But if it's like, if I'm picking it up, I don't tip, like, if I'm picking it up. I don't know if that's rude, but it's just, the reason I don't tip when I pick up is because I felt like I made the drive over here, I came over here, and so, I'm saving a little money, and that was just, what I always thought. But yeah, I guess Emu, yeah, and I felt bad at times, too. I did feel bad at times, but oh, that's Zach. I guess I didn't report it because he had a he made me take a picture of the food, but I didn't check it. So, yeah, but tipping is optional. I know it's optional, but I was asking you guys because, like, if I'm picking up, like, food, like, especially if it's 5 minutes from my house, my apartment, I didn't tip if I'm picking it up. If people are delivering to me, I always tip. But if I'm picking up the food, then I'm not tipping. That's just how I've always done things. But if I'm only gonna tip if I'm eating in the restaurant. If I'm eating in the restaurant or if they're delivering to me, I'll tip. But if I'm going to pick up the food myself, driving over there and no one's delivering, then I'm not, tipping. But that was If you pick it up, you don't have to tip them. Yeah, that's. Sometimes if you order it from a place that's close to your house, specifically a big chain, they set the order at a further destination, probably so they could get a bigger delivery fee. What? Oh. Well, if food is delivered to me, like they're actually coming to me like a driver, always 25%. Like that's how much I give. But if it's if I'm going to pick up the food myself, like I'm driving over to the restaurant, I'm picking up the food, then I'm not tipping because I drove over. But do you think the last GTA update will involve Michael? I don't know. I guess we'll see on that one. I don't know if they're... I think the last two updates, because if you one update in the summer, one update in the winter, probably won't be that big. Yeah. That happened to me. There's a store close to me, but the driver said to pick up at the same store, but further away. What? Okay, but, I guess we'll be going here, guys. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Have I ever played Minecraft? A long time ago in the past. My favorite GTA character, Nico. But I guess I'll be going here, guys. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with me, and, if you guys did enjoy the stream, drop a like. I'll have the next part of Days Gone early today, late, because it is technically already next day, but I'll have the next part of Days Gone later today, early. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you guys, and take care, everyone.